So, hello and welcome to Success Stories with Key, where you get a chance to see success from the eyes of someone who is achieving success. So, what is success? Success means different things to different people. I'm interested in hearing from these people and finding out about their achievements, their challenges, and their keys to success. This week, I have the honor of speaking with Maelle Polak. Hello, Maelle. Welcome to Success Stories with Key.
Hi, Keith.
So Maelle is a Salesforce solution architect. She's been a business consulting lead, a team lead, and she's had over 14 years of consulting under her belt with 11 Salesforce certifications, and she's a Belgian Australian. So, who is the real Maelle?
Well, I don't know if this is a fascinating answer, but I'll give this a shot. So I was born and raised in Belgium. First got a bachelor degree in marketing as my mathematics and science grades were not so good in high school, so I didn't go to university. And later got a master in commercial engineering in 2008. And since I've been working in IT consulting, as you mentioned, for about 14 years now. And for me, choosing consulting was my way of not choosing anything, not choosing one path that I was afraid I would be stuck in. I like to describe myself as someone who's positive, open minded, resilient, and independent. I am a workaholic, I believe, but I also spend my free time with my family and friends whenever I can. I'm also a big fan of board games, online games, video games, any type of games. My favorite is probably escape games. I don't know if you had a chance to play any of those, but this is really, really fun. I'm also a bit of a geek, so I like fantasy world, like science fiction, superpowers, Dungeon and Dragons universe, that sort of thing. And last but not least, I'm a chocolate addict, which should not be a surprise to you, I guess, because you know where I grew up.
Amazing, amazing. That's so interesting. So many different facets to you.
I like the multifacets, and usually through a CV or when you just meet colleagues, there is a lot that you don't know, and I really like to know that about people too. So I understand the question.
Amazing. So let's jump straight into it. So, what are some of your proudest achievements?
Well, the first thing that really comes to mind is my move to Sydney, Australia in 2011, thanks to an opportunity that I had in a big consulting firm. It was initially meant to be for 2 years initially, but I ended up staying a bit less than 10 years. So moving to Australia really opened up a new world for me as I didn't really travel much before that, apart from the usual holiday that you take with your family and in resorts, hotels, and that sort of thing. So very different view on the world. And it helped me realize my capacity to adapt to anything and to any culture. Sydney is a very diverse, and I really loved the fact that I would be working with people from Europe, from Asia, from India, from America. This really, really helps and let you grow as a person. It also helped me validate what I really enjoyed doing professionally because this was already a few years after I started working, and my personal life also evolved a lot as I moved with my partner to Australia in 2011. And I've been in a relationship for 15 years first, and only then I shared an apartment with housemates. So I kind of did life in reverse compared to what most people would do. And yeah, this was nice, just doing things differently, and I really like doing that.
Fantastic. So, moving to a new country, a new city, leaving your family behind. I'm assuming that you would have experienced some challenges. Are there any of such challenges that you've experienced along your journey to success that you'd like to share with us?
There is this one challenge that I faced in a previous role. I was leading a team of 15 people, in addition to being responsible for the governance and the technical delivery of the project that I was on. And it was during COVID times. So we were all working fully remote for months, and my job started just after the lockdown rules got in place. So I barely met the team face to face, and that was the time when I became their manager. So there were lots of technical challenges, or on organization level, on technical level that I had to solve. in addition to providing the right attention and support to the team. So coaching them, managing their evaluation, letting them venting about home issues, that sort of thing. It's not easy when you have to only talk through them through a screen because that's the remote setup. So definitely not the easiest way to kind of bond and build a relationship with people. And even though I received really great feedback from them throughout the time that I was working with them, I would always put people first and having one-to-one calls with them, helping them, but I could only allow myself to do my technical work after 5 p.m. when the meeting time was over and I finally found the time and really put the right attention into my more architecture or governance work. So only after 5 I would be building diagrams, preparing my presentations, doing some research or answering my emails. And I ended up with a balance of probably 80% people management oriented tasks and only barely 20% technical work. And I think the company expected more, and I felt like I could not let people down.
Understood. Understood. So just to clarify, what I'm hearing is that for that particular role, you felt it was a priority to put people first, but the demands of the role required you to put in extra hours to do the technical aspects.
Yes, that's right. That they were really those two hats that I had to play
Mm.
with, and they sold it to me like a 50-50% thing. But I realized that it's probably because of that lockdown time as well. It was definitely harder for people during those months, and I couldn't really split 50-50 because it was the theory. I realized that I would always put people first, and I will let my job happen kind of later on. I really didn't see this as a job, that people management part, even though it was part of the role. So I think for you trying to explore that journey to success and what people might try to get out of this, I would really recommend to know your boundaries and stand for yourself, identify where do you get energy from, and that might help you building your success journey.
So let's move on to the $64,000 question. How do you define success?
Well, I'm glad you're asking this question to other people because I really believe the definition would be different for everyone. And this is likely why you're doing this. But I definitely would encourage everyone to actually make their own definition because for me, it was really a time to reflect on it. And I even Googled the definition from the Cambridge Dictionary, which says that success is achieving results you wanted or hoped for, and this really implies that there is a goal or there is a plan behind. And a second part of, or the second way to define it is something that achieves positive results. That could be very subjective, but as I'm not so much of a planner, I think this one suits me a lot better. It's not that you can really predict what's going on. Life just changes so much that you can't really plan for it. So I think success really does not come without hard work, passion, self reflection, and fulfillment. Let me explain. If you think about some of the great actors that are out there, or the famous scientists, or big company CEOs like Steve Jobs and the like, they all worked really hard. They failed a huge amount of time before they got into this one discovery or one movie or the one product that will really make them stand out from the crowd, right? So I think this is really a good representation of hard work, and you cannot do this before you really reach a great goal. So hard work as I think the first element, and because it is hard work, it cannot. I mean, it has to take a long time. You have to put effort into it. So I think without the passion and the resilience to keep you going, there's no way you're gonna meet the goals that you have set for yourself. So find a field that really you are passionate about because you will spend days, months, nights, weekends, maybe years before you reach that feeling of achievement. success is a journey, and a journey really makes you think, makes you doubt, makes you decide to go left or right, backwards and forward. So when you reflect on that journey, it helps you really getting some perspective and align with your own values and make the right decisions. It also helps you seek help when you need it, and I think this is also an important aspect of it. um, there is this image that I get when I think about success. I think in every successful person, there is this inner yogi that really drives your self-reflection, constantly challenging and guiding your choices and your decisions. If you don't get that inner yogi to guide you, I don't think you'll ever be successful. Or maybe you're smart enough to surround yourself with people who can bring that to you. Finally, whatever you do to be successful, I believe it has to bring value to the community. For me, success has value through the eyes of others. You have to make someone's life easier or reduce their suffering, or giving them more free time, or bringing joy and laughter into people's home. Making people happy is making you happy. At least that's how I feel, and that gives you the feeling of fulfillment.
That's an amazing answer. That's such an amazing set of answers. What are some other things that you've done that have made you successful?
Looking back, I told you that I'm not so much of a planner, so I didn't really plan much of my life, not really knowing what would get into play. And I learned pretty early that plans always change anyway. So I followed the opportunities as they came. I chose the ones I believe would be great for me, never really knowing what would be the outcome. And I think it takes a bit of courage to really get out of your comfort zone. So, but guess what? It's where the magic happens, right? Just throw yourself out there, just dare the challenges that get thrown at you, and that will, I think, help you make the right decisions anyway. So trust yourself. No one knows better what's best for you, I guess. Seek for help when you feel like you're not really doing the right thing, or when you feel like going kind of sidetracked. Communication is something that I keep working on. So it helped me over time sharing my feelings and my experience, which maybe I wasn't doing so much when I was younger. I think it helps you grow as a person when you start communicating more with people. And it helps people as well feel that they can relate to what you've been doing. So they might feel less lonely, or if they're going through tough times, they will relate to what you're sharing with them. And if you don't get that chance to explore, then I think you might have in your circle people that can also help you challenge your ideas. So expose them, try to get, challenging mindsets, try to explore those ideas with people around you.
Amazing, amazing. There's so much here to unpack. I'm going to try and play back what I understand to be your keys to success. You've got your tactical ones, which that you need to be passionate, you need to work hard, and there's the communication skills there. And there's also the intrinsic ones where you need to have courage and to trust yourself. But then it boils down to self-reflection and self-assessment. And I love how you call it your inner yogi. And this also contributes to seeking help or having the ability to understand where there are some deficiencies or some gaps that need help. And you need to put up your hand and seek help. Would you say I've encapsulated some of the key things that have contributed to your success?
Yes, perfectly. And your English is so much better than mine. So I would definitely agree to this.
You're very kind. Thank you. So the wrap-up question, what advice would you give to your younger self?
I would say to her, don't blindly trust that teacher that told you not to go to university, because I think my life would have taken probably a very different turn. So the guideline there, or the underline, is really be bold, dream big. Nothing is off limits, of course, as long as it's legal and it is respectful. Of course, anything is possible.
Amazing. That's an amazing answer. I love that. So thank you, Maelle. Thank you so much for your time and your generosity in sharing with us your keys to success. It's been a real pleasure.
It was a pleasure for me as well. Thanks, Keith.
If you found that useful, please like, subscribe, and share this with your friends. Follow Key to Success so you can benefit from my learnings as I undertake my own journey to success.